All right, y'all, we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business today. We're going to be seeing for these two Google searches, does it have BSS for each Google search, yes or no? Now we're here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that, pin video, home video, somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our graph here, our FSIC graph in white down below. Highest intent peeps on the left. These people searching, boudoir photo shoot in their city today, right now. We talk about how to get these people to come to us in our videos here about BSS. These people discover us, come to us, buy from us. These are highest converting, closest to the money. We got to dominate these people. Then we have on the right, lowest intent peeps. We talked about interfacing with these peeps at our sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. And talk about BLCS over there. And currently we only work with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand per month in boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS is boudoir search sameness. That's when boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. 0 slots, that's a fast death. That means we're on page 2 or deeper. And we know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So yeah, they're page 1 and done searches, never even hit page 2. That's no-brainer. Also 1 slot on page 1, Google, that's not good either because there's 10 organic slots. It means there's probably gonna be 9 other boudoir photographers each with 1 slot. So guess what? We look the same as everyone else. We ain't standing out. We're not dominating. And as a result, what's approximately 80% of boudoir buyers going to do? They're going to click down everyone on page 1 and page 1 only, because remember, approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So everyone down page 1, open everyone up, do a contact form for everyone, get a price quote, negotiate, bring down the margins, get more for less, blah, blah, blah. Waste time, and 9 out of 10 of those contact forms ain't even going to buy from us. So, only probably 10% will buy. So, like both these situations, 0, 1 slots, page 1 Google, our business is either dying fast or dying slow, but in both cases, it's dying. And 0, 1 slots, page 1 Google is not normal. It's common and it's accepted, but it's not normal to have such a small number of page 1 links on Google. It's actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And those 2 deeper root causes are market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, yeah, most peeps know this. People upgrade their iPhones all the time, get new cameras all the time, and eventually more peeps are throwing up their Google My Business profiles and they now shoot boudoir. They throwing up their website saying they do boudoir photography. They post more often in the mom groups on Facebook saying they do boudoir photo shoots. Everyone understands it's kind of natural, it gets more and more competitive over time. Now this new one is the false belief of page 1 equality. This is new, but because a lot of boudoir photographers basically kind of without thinking, kind of everyone is auto-accepted. They're like, yeah, as a boudoir photographer, my website will get, I get either 0 or 1 slots, page 1 on Google. If I get 1, cool. If I get 0, cool. And maybe I had page 1 on Google, but now I'm on page 2 of Google. So I'm not on page 1 anymore. And it's like, oh, well, that's simply the game. But no, that's 100% incorrect. That is the false belief of page 1 equality in action. What's actually true is Google will actually give us as many slots on page 1 of Google search as we want, or as we want to put in, as we put in the effort to acquire. And I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search, to 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search in only 10 days with this new method we discovered. Finally, we know that boudoir photographer with BSS boudoir search sameness is a disappearing boudoir photographer. Yeah, I mean, if you got 0, 1 slots, page 1 Google search, you're either disappearing fast or disappearing slow. Both cases were disappearing, and this is kind of like a red flag, a warning light, canary in the coal mine, or basically, if we are a disappearing boudoir photographer, that means our business is now on the path to disappearing as well. But thankfully, we now have a solution. Discover that BSS boudoir search sameness is treated with social search saturation, aka S-cubed methodology. And it works exactly as the word said, as the title says. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, so we show up there. And that's kind of like snowing, raining at the top of the Andes Mountains down in South America, the east side, the backside there. So when that happens, well, it's mostly going to be snow. That snow melts year round. That water flows into small streams and eventually small rivers. And that all flows into the large Amazon River. So the Amazon River is page 1 Google search. So we gotta get the snow at the top of the mountain, saturate social search, to then get stuff to flow down to the Amazon River, page 1 Google search. That's basically how that's how it works. And what's interesting about this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that can actually allow the business to still continue to grow, even with current market saturation and growing market saturation, um, and give them the opportunity relatively quickly. Now, the only other solution I've seen give those same benefits are having a large, well-known brand. But dude, we ain't. Those take 5 to 10 years. We ain't got 5 to 10 years. AI is here. AI is taking people's jobs. We do not have 5 to 10 years. So, building a large, well-known brand, that ain't happening anytime soon. But interestingly, with S-Cube methodology, yeah, we can get some kind of initial more market share, more page one Google slots, all stuff like that, kick our competitors off. But by my estimates, it actually enables the building of a large, well-known brand in the area, in the local area, city, approximately 8x faster than traditional methods, simply because we're being seen across so many more surfaces with a higher volume of time, so it's kind of just natural to build a large, well-known brand approximately 8x faster. And all right, here's an example of what S-Cube methodology could enable for a boudoir photography business. So we are going to Fairbanks, Alaska, and there are 1 million boudoir photographers there. We are one of them. And we got, we literally, everyone's got their websites and they shoot boudoir, they're boudoir photographers. Everyone's trying to rank page one Google search. They're like, man, we ain't got, a large, well-known brand right now. The only, S-Cube methodology, literally, that's the only way that we can compete. So let's say we take S-Cube methodology, we crank it up to the max, and let's say we take the first 300 slots for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords across all of social search, and let's say that flows onto Google search for this highest intent boudoir buyer keywords as well for our city, and we're taking the first 300 slots on Google. So, 10 organic slots per page on Google. So that means we'd be taking up essentially 30 pages. So basically, anyone in our area searching anything related to boudoir photography, boudoir photo shoot in their city. I mean, we're basically the only ones showing up. Social search, Google search, we're basically the only ones that they're seeing. So, whose business is most likely growing in this situation? Ours. Whose business most likely failing, disappearing, becoming invisible? Most likely, our the 999,909 other boudoir photographer competitors that are in Fairbanks with us. So again, this is like ultra extreme example, but this is what S-Cube methodology could enable in, kind of in the most extreme case. Now, once you're with S-Cube methodology, we have page one visibility, P1V. And so yeah, we're getting more slots page one on Google, like that initial benefit. And then a lot of boudoir photographers actually, their favorite's the second benefit, where every new link we get page one slot on Google, we're actually kicking our competitor off page one Google, putting them page two or deeper, and now we know they're invisible to approximately 80% of the marketplace, and putting their business on the path to disappearing. So we could literally, by our effort, we can control how many of our competitors actually go, kind of go on the path to disappearing, simply based on our effort. And so it's a fan favorite for boudoir photographers of initial benefit that they can get with S-Cube's methodology. Now, page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us, BSV. And the GBC universe recommends having a minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page one Google search as kind of the minimum baseline recommendation, because basically everyone else can have one slot, page one Google search. So if we got 3 slots, we're dominating them. And in the ultra rare case, someone has 2 slots. We got 3, so we're still dominating them. So that's where the 3 out of 10 recommendation comes from. And we also know that boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, VBP. So we got our entire universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness, either 0 or 1 slots page 1 Google search, is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality, which we'll see in the next picture. We discovered we know for a fact it's a false belief. And we achieve page 1 visibility. Well, we utilize S-Cube methodology to solve that. We achieve page 1 visibility. We become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. So it's basically our micro universe here. Now here's some results. So this is what I want to super rank for this term, BLCS boudoir. I want to dominate takeover page 1 Google search. And so I went to work using SQ methodology. So let's see these are results of what I got. So we got organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. And finally, slot 10, me. So I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search in only 10 days purely by using SQ methodology. So if someone's searching this term, who are they clicking on? Who are they coming to? Obviously me. So now back to the meat. I see this boudoir photography business. If these two Google searches, see if they got see if this business has BSS, yes or no for the local search and the city search. All right, here we go. So we're going to organic. Let's see. All right, here we go. Yep, that's one. We got one. So this is the local search, Brentwood, Tennessee. All right, so we got one. We got, let's see. Not did we only got one. We got 1 out of 10 organic slots page 1 on Google. So all right, we definitely have BSS for the local search. Now let's check our city search. Same thing. So now we're looking at Nashville, Tennessee. All right. Man, was that 10? 1, 2. I guess the discussion took up a huge chunk. Dang. Dude, we're at 0 out of 10 on Nashville. So we got Boudoir search statements for both. Or this Boudoir photography business has Boudoir search statements for both Google searches. But now we got something that can fix that, SQ'd methodology. So if you are a disappearing boudoir photographer with BSS boudoir search sameness at either the local or the city level, meaning either got 0 or 1 or 1 out of or 1 slot on page 1 on Google, and you're seeing the market's simply going to get more and more saturated. It seems like a new boudoir photographers remember joining every single week about. And also you're seeing with AI that, man, a ton of people are going to be losing their jobs more and more into the future. And the last time that happened, COVID, there was an explosion of boudoir photographers. So you've decided that, hey, you need to prepare for AI, pushing more, increasing the supply of boudoir photographers, then competing for the same number of buyers in the market. And you've decided, well, page 1 Google search, dominating that seems to be the best way with the highest intent keywords, which flows from dominating page 1 search of Facebook search, TikTok search, Instagram search, and YouTube search for those same highest intent keywords. Google's just a byproduct of that. Google's the end result. But you want to dominate on Google, so you realize with SQ's methodology, you got to dominate on social search first as well, which kind of hits two birds with one stone. So you're seeing market's going to get more and more saturated. You've realized, especially looking at this picture, that page 1 equality is a false belief. Having 0, 1 slots on page 1, false belief. That's simply normal. It's not. And that we can actually take as many page 1 slots as we want to put in the effort for. And you're seeing that S-cubed methodology is the best way to do that. To achieve page 1 visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer, and achieve page 1 visibility, or boudoir search visibility. And also, the back end, literally the back end extra bonuses from doing this S-cubed methodology, which would be our your business, your brand name is more tightened around these highest intent keywords, which means higher chance we show up in Google AI overview at the top of the search, higher chance we get featured in AI search for ChatGPT search, Claude search, whatever, Perplexity search, Microsoft Copilot search, Google Gemini search, because all these bundling of this history, this kind of momentum around these highest intent keywords. And AI search is going to become more and more prominent. And last time I looked at AI search, it only gave 3 for a whole city. It gave 3 boudoir photographers. And so these are extra bonus things on the back end of doing S-cubed methodology. There's literally no downside to S-cubed methodology. It's like 5, 6 different upsides, upshots. And you're also seeing if someone else does it in your city before you, they're building up momentum for all these things. And you would, if we're already working with someone else, you'd have to do S-cubed methodology on your own. Figure out how to do it and implement it, and then sustain and actually do double the competitor in your city to catch back up and exceed them. So, if you decided, hey, you gotta get rolling on this because you see what's gonna come happening. AI search has become more prevalent, and you decided, hey, this is the path forward, S-cubed methodology. Then shoot us a DM. We are not doing new patient intake right now. Hospital's closed, but when we do new patient intake, we will open our DMs. And so no, you cannot DM us right now. DMs are closed, but when we do open for new patient intake, shoot us a DM and we will see if you qualify for S-cubed methodology in your city. We also got to check, if we're already working with someone in your city right now, then we cannot work with you. And we got some other things we look at as well if we do have a slot open. But shoot us a DM at the time. We'll see if you qualify.